Hello, and welcome back to another reading. We finally made it to Friday, guys. It's been a long week, but that's okay. If you had a long week, if it's been a short week, if it's been a bad week, if it's been a fun week, we made it here together, so if it wasn't exactly the way you wanted, we can always try again next time. I put a little fake tattoo under my chin here. I just feel the need to tell you guys that because it kind of looks like I'm trying to grow out facial hair, but that's what that is. But I actually kind of like the placement of it. I think it looks cool. Okay. So if you haven't caught up with the last two readings from this week, that's okay. You don't need to watch them. You are more than welcome to go back and watch them. You can watch them before this one, after this one. I feel like before would kind of make more sense because I may go back and oftentimes I kind of reference the last couple readings I've done before going into like the current reading, or just like peppered throughout, so it might make more sense to do it that way, but you do you, whatever order you want. If you want to watch it months after I put it out, then go for it, or if you want to watch it the minute it comes out, then either way I really appreciate it, and I'm just glad to have you guys here. And with that being said, let's get into the reading. But before that, I'm being kind of called with this stone. I don't know that you guys can really see all the crystals I have set out. You can see these ones. Yeah. Here's some more. I guess I'll just kind of put those here. But I'm being kind of called to show you guys this amethyst. Look at that. Ugh. There we go. Haha. Ooh, that's a good shot. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is kind of a message in its own to allow, I don't know. Maybe this is going to be a highly intuitive reading. I know that kind of has to do with amethyst. I don't know if anybody else has been having more vivid dreams recently, so maybe this is kind of a hearkening to that, but I know I've been having some particularly vivid dreams over the last couple weeks, so maybe this will just be kind of like a nod to that. But regardless, maybe this will be a really good time for you guys to kind of open up your intuition. We're right around the time of the full moon, so this would be a great time to do that. Maybe if you have an amethyst of your own, to just kind of sit back and meditate on that. I love the full moon energy. I know this channel is about the dark moon more, and I definitely think that has its place, but something about being able to go under the night sky and just kind of like see everything lit up by the moon is just incredibly magical. I get why people, especially like in like tarot and like witchy communities, are really drawn, because if you pay attention to it, it's really like incredible to be able to see that. Alright, let's pull the first card. I was shuffling from the top, but this week I've been doing more like fan it out and just kind of pick one, so I like to mix things up when I'm reading. First card. Guys. High Priestess. Isn't that wild how that works out? Literally the card of like intuition and your inner knowing. Perfect for the amethyst. I feel like since I've just been doing these videos, my intuition has just been kind of like off the charts with just like what we've been doing. So I'm really glad I've had time to kind of like practice and hone these skills that I've been working on for years now, because I think it really just gives me an avenue to put them into action. So yes. I don't even know, what do you even need to say to that? I mean, it's the High Priestess card. I mean, whether or not you're man or woman or non-binary or anything else, you can definitely kind of relate to this like inner intuition card. There's even she's even kind of has a moon under her throne, which you might be able to, yeah, there you go. She even has the moon there, so it's like perfect. It's exactly what we were talking about. So going forward from the week, kind of the middle of the week, we were talking a lot about conflict and conflict resolution and picking your battles. I think we're kind of sweeping that all away, but put all that aside, put all the conflicts aside, put like the basic tenets of like what you've been working on kind of aside, allow this to be a break and just kind of sit back and breathe. And like, the energy here is too good to be working with, that you don't want to waste this. So Friday rolls around, even going into this weekend, I know it'll be maybe a little past the full moon, but even going into this weekend, I think this will be a really great time to just kind of channel and reaffirm with yourself what's been going on. Spend some time with some amethyst, maybe bust out your own tarot cards just to kind of see where you want to go from there. But yeah, I think we have some really good energy just for manifesting and just kind of getting visions of what you want going forward. Maybe get a pendulum, maybe throw some bones, maybe do runes. I've done all of those to a certain extent, but I think tarot's kind of my main avenue. Maybe throw some stones, or even just like pick up a quartz and kind of like scry into it, or a crystal ball. But yes, this will be a really good time for you to just kind of like dig into that energy. So I'm really excited to be going forward and doing that. Okay, next card. I feel like that's kind of all that really needs to be said, you know? It's really just kind of the perfect message. It's simple. It's I don't want to say there's not much to it, because there's essentially like an infinite number of things that you could need to hear, but just kind of that really like punchy reminder, like, make sure you're doing your work, you know? Make sure you're meditating, make sure you're scrying, whatever you need to be doing. What you know what it is too. It's not the same for all of us, but you know what it is that you need to be doing. Okay. Queen of Wands. Very like kind of feminine energy, very very powerful stuff. Sitting on the throne, she's very oh, she even has her little black cat with her. I always kind of like this. Fun fact, I don't know that this really has to do with the Queen of Wands, but I always think of Blake Lively whenever I see the Queen of Wands. I think just various descriptors I've had of the Queen of Wands, it kind of makes me think of that, like, Serena and Gossip Girl. Like, you can be that girl. So, do your spiritual work, and, like, just kind of, like, I feel like once you do that, it'll put you in a really good position to be just kind of like that passionate, effortless, like, I don't know, I think it's going to come to you this weekend. Like, at the end of the week, I think this is going to be a good time for you. Like, you can be that girl. You can be, like, the hot, passionate, like, or that boy, or that person, or whoever, but, like, specifically, like, a that girl energy, you know? Like, it's the, I'm sorry I can't be her, but this weekend you can be here. So, start off by doing your spiritual work. Maybe it'll give you, maybe you'll download some kind of a message about how to, like, reach this really, like, crisp version of yourself and, like, move into that really positive energy. I think that'll be, really crucial for you going forward and kind of unlocking the next steps in, like, this kind of short-term period of your journey. I guess we can already start shifting. I feel like these cards are moving kind of fast. I don't have a whole lot to say, but sometimes the message just comes in very clear, like, this is what you need to say, you know? Sometimes we kind of, like, snake through it, which I don't have a problem doing, but sometimes you really just get kind of... You come and you go. They tell you exactly what you need to hear, and then you can move forward from there, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let's fan them out. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we're getting kind of this message again of, like, movement going forward, unlocking the next step in your journey. This has to do with more of the tangible. Some people see the court cards as kind of people coming in and out of your life, and I'm getting this, that's not how I normally read it, but keep an eye out for that other person, because maybe this, I'm getting kind of the vibe that this might represent someone else and not specifically you. The thing I'm getting, as I'm kind of looking at all these cards, I want to kind of move them back so you can at least sort of see what I'm doing. But as I'm looking at all of these, I'm getting really drawn in by the blackness of each of them, specifically the black animals, but also the black columns. So I'm getting kind of this, like, triad of, like, the black pillar, the black cat, and then the black stallion. I think that kind of has to go with, like, entering the void. in order to retrieve these like psychic or intuitive downloads or messages. So feel free to just kind of like meditate on what that means. I'm really getting called to like the color black, and it seems like for whatever reason they're each standing out. Like the black is just like, that's what's popping like. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. See if that means anything to you going forward, because I think that could be a really interesting message. Just kind of, maybe you have a black cat, or you have a black horse, or a black hamster, or something. Really just, take some time to appreciate that. See if you can learn any lessons from that going forward. Even the pentacle he has, despite the pentacle normally being green, the pentacle he's holding is black. So I think there's really kind of an interesting message in there somewhere having to do with like your intuition going into the darkness, starting something new, fertile grounds. We've been talking a lot about like, this is the kind of time of year for planting seeds and the beginnings of gardenings, and I see this as kind of like this deep, rich black soil that you can use that's like perfect for growing plants. So maybe this has to do with a message of like really fertile grounds and really fertile energy for you to be moving forward and building. So I think this could be a really good time to kind of be planting these seeds. Sometimes people see like the pentacles as seeds. So I think that's something to be looking forward as you're going through the weekend, as you're enjoying your like hot girl weekend. Look around you, see if you're getting any kind of messages. Like notice things that are lying in the darkness that maybe, not that they don't want to be seen, but you just didn't notice them because they're in the darkness. They're not hiding from you and they're not really jumping out, but maybe it's just the things that have been around you that you're not really appreciating. Maybe there's a way you can appreciate and learn lessons from them, like a painting that's been hung in your house for like 15 years, but you just like walk past it one day and realize you never noticed it really, or like you never really took the time to look at it, or you hadn't looked at it in 10 years and you just kind of like forgot what it was even about. Because none of the darkness in here is like necessarily the focal points. Like it's not any of the people, but it's something surrounding them, and it's maybe something that you wouldn't have noticed at first glance. So I think there's a message to be had in the things that you don't immediately look at. So keep an eye out for that this weekend, and I think you'll be in really good shape moving into the next one. And I look forward to hearing kind of like what you guys saw, or if you experienced anything, or maybe on the Monday reading, tell me how the things you noticed kind of influenced you. But yeah, I think that's kind of, do we want to do a clarifying card? I feel like we could do a clarifying card, right? I don't know. Maybe just a little more clarity on the message of like the blackness we're seeing in each, just kind of the basic focal points. This is an interesting one. The Nine of Cups. I feel like we're getting another, maybe this is kind of like the unlikely ally, a person that's been there the whole time that you never really thought was able to like help you, but then you kind of spark some connection. Maybe it has to do with you being in this highly social Queen of Wands phase, that you enhance a connection you hadn't really noticed before, and you realize that person's kind of sitting on a mound of gold that can really influence and help your life. And obviously always see what you can be giving back, because clearly you're in this time of really like great riches. Like you have this really rich soil, so clearly you're like giving to the people around you, even just like by being around people. But maybe you reach a connection with someone that you didn't think you would have before, and that can prove to be really great and fruitful grounds moving forward. So I think that's kind of a little bit of the clarification of, because I was getting the vibe that maybe the knight was a person this time, so maybe it really is a person. Maybe it's an animal, could be a thing, but I feel like you're really going to get benefit from this. You know, it's someone sitting on this riches, or like maybe it's like that Antiques Roadshow where it's the painting that's been sitting in your attic and suddenly it's worth like $24,000. I hope that for you. I hope that for me too. That would be really nice. But yeah, I think that's it for this reading. Just keep an eye out for the things that you may not initially notice. Maybe take a second glance at things around you if you're walking through the woods. Keep a close eye. Make sure, maybe not too close of an eye. If you stare into the woods for too long, something may start to stare back. But yeah, keep an eye out for things. Maybe you'll notice. Maybe you'll find a treasure. Let me know if you guys find anything down in the comments. I'll be jealous, and I'll keep you updated if I find anything cool. But yeah, I think that's it for this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a good week. I hope you move forward into having a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next Monday. I will see you then. Thank you so much for watching the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.